Alright, gonna do a quick video here tonight on the 406 project. Just wanted to talk about the cam button. I just got this one finished up and ended up choosing the nylon button with the Summit cover. So it's just a cast aluminum Summit Racing cover. Reason why I went with the cast aluminum cover is because the standard stamped steel covers flex a lot. So what I ended up finding, well, I'll give you this answer first. I ended up grinding down this nylon total length of that button to 720 thousandths. So 750 thousandths is 3/4 of an inch, so just under 3/4 of an inch. When you get them, they're right around like 810 thousandths. So that gets you an idea of where I ended up on this one. The other thing I wanted to show you, and try not to lose any parts, is this is the other one. And this is the roller bearing type. So this one I had talked about, you can see it's got a roller bearing there, and it actually has washers that go in between here, and then you have a little clip that goes on top. With this one, what had happened is, if you look closely, the center of this, where my thumbnail is, sticks out further than the roller part here. So with all the shims out, to get it as thin as possible, it was actually hitting on the center against right about there of the cover. So I couldn't get this one thin enough to work. It was really close, and then I had noticed it was hitting right here. So this one here, the roller bearing type, wouldn't have worked. Somewhere on here's a part number as I'm trying not to, there's the shims there. I'm trying not to lose anything. This one is, looks like just part number 200. It's hard to see there. Yeah, it's just part number 200 from comp. So that one won't work with your Summit cast aluminum cover with a small block Chevy, just for you know on that. But then I was debating on not using that one anyways, because I was worried that that steel against that aluminum would slowly wear into this cover, which was a concern. I know people have done it, but I do like the nylon version the best with this cover. So this will work perfect, and you can see I put a little bit of grease on there. How I determined, I used a couple methods to determine the depth or what I needed to remove off the cam button. And what I was doing is setting up my cover with the gasket, and basically would just loosely put it up there, could tell it's bottoming out. And I kept removing about 10 thousandths at a time until I got to about 735 thousandths. Then I could tell that was my 0 point. So for me, I knew from 0, which was 735, I want to take another 10 off. And that'll give me 10 thousandths of thrust on the cam button. Because you really don't want this just wearing against that timing cover constantly. So once I did that, then I was able to reach in with a screwdriver on a lobe and rock the cam back and forth, and then verify that I actually did have that 10 thousandths. So that's what I did. Worked out perfect. And like I said, I think the nylon is the best option for a cast cover. And I really think the nylon's probably the better version, unless you go with a really fancy timing cover. But we really just simply didn't have an option with the roller bearing on this. And that roller bearing, had we put it in the way it was, the center would have worn into the cover. And then I really believe, even if I was to grind that center down just a little bit for it wouldn't, there would have been too much preload on that bearing, and it would have prematurely failed. Well, if that fails, now you got metal going into the engine. If this guy ever wears a little bit, it's just nylon, it's not going to hurt anything. So that's why I like the idea of this button a lot better. No, that's really about it for tonight. Just giving you guys some information, and like I said, I think if you're running a small block Chevy with the Summit Racing cast aluminum cover, you're going to end up somewhere around 735 to 725 thousandths cam button length, roughly. Now there's a lot of variables there, but that'll give you a close idea. I'm using a Kois timing chain, just a true double roller, nothing too fancy there. And then that Howard's hydraulic roller camshaft we went over in another video. But yeah, that'll be it. Any questions, just comment and I'll get back to you with some answers.